Hello everybody, Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am here with a brand new project. This is a folio using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Flower Shop, and it is absolutely stunning. It's very elegant, and I have done a 10 by 10 folio with a 1-inch spine with a magnetic closure. So on the front, I've taken some of the 2 by 2 cut aparts, trimmed them down a little bit, matted them on black, and then popped them up in the frames of the little Polaroid paper that is part of this collection. And then I've got the butterfly paper running down the side here. This is magnetic. When you open it up, we've got this going on. So let's start over here on this side. So first up, we have a waterfall, 4x4 waterfall. With the 4x4 cut aparts, and then one of the 4x6 that was a portrait cut apart versus a landscape. There is a magnetic closure here as well. We've got a nice spot for photos here. The waterfall itself is actually built on top of a fairly large pocket. So I've got some photo mats in there. Got another nice layout here, and then in the middle, so we've got an accordion fold, so this goes this way, this one goes this way, and then the whole thing opens up, and you've got a big 10 by 10 2-page layout in the middle here. I've used the chipboards and the big bits, actually the chipboard, are they chipboard clusters? No, large chipboard pieces, and the big bits for decorating along with the stickers from the paper collection throughout the project. This is being offered as a kit as well. So everything you are seeing here, the ribbon, the magnets, all the pattern paper, and the embellishments and the white photo mats are all included in the kit. When we get onto this side, we've got a large 5x7 frame here that is on a flap, just some decorative here with the chipboard. These are all the stickers from the sticker sheet for the paper collection. Here we've got stacked pockets, and another one of the chipboards. This opens up this direction. We've got a nice big spot for pictures here. So these are 4x6 photo mats that are on this. We've got some more good-sized pockets that will hold 4x6 photos. And then you open it up one more time. And on these flaps, I've used the tag paper to make 2 additional pockets, top and bottom here, as well as another big pocket here with, so these are 5x7 photo mats that are tucked in here. And then we've got another waterfall. This one is a portrait 4x6. So there we go. So that is the project. The tutorial will start momentarily. If you do want a kit for this, the kit will include all chipboard, cardstock, pattern paper, embellishments, ribbon, magnets, paper for matting the photo mats, everything inclusive in the kit that is available on my shop, scrappingundertheinfluence.com right now. So there you go. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to start with 2 pieces of chipboard. I'm sorry. 1 piece of chipboard that is 10 by 1, one that is 10 by 1 1/8, 10 by 3, and 2 10 by 10. So I'm going to go ahead and get these attached to the cardstock. So because the cover is 10 by 10, the cardstock to wrap it is going to be 12 by 12. So let's go ahead and get the backing off of the tape. Maybe. It wants to let go for me today. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. Grab my spacers. Maybe. Again, I can't seem to pick anything up today. All right, so we have 1 inch on the side. We have 1 inch on the top. Okay. Drop that down. Grab our second one. Line it up. And do the same thing again. Okay. There's those. Now let's go ahead and do our spine. All right, so I'm going to do my, actually I take it back. This is another cover piece. So the 3x10 is for the closure. So you're going to treat that one as if it was a normal cover piece. Help if you can actually, see everything here. Okay. Get that all ready to go. Drop that one down. Now we can switch out for the 1.5 inches. So let's go with our 1 1/8 piece first. So the cardstock for that is 4 1/8 by 12. That one down. And then our last piece is 1 inch by 10. Cardstock is 4 inches by 12. Okay. All right. Move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and fold our cardstock around our chipboard. And you're just using that chipboard to help you fold everything around. And burnish those down. Okay. And same thing with our covers. Again. And we're just going to keep going around. Again. And again. And then we're going to go ahead and miter. So we need to get that corner out. Okay. Oh my gosh, what did I do here? It did not go around in my normal way because that clearly was a mess. Okay, you're going to do that on all of your pieces. Okay. Okay, and again. I know this is so exciting to watch me miter corners, but that's okay. And our spines. Okay. This one clearly I folded weird, but it's okay. The nice thing about this method of doing the covers, it doesn't matter. Weird. Okay. All right, so next I'm going to prep my 2 spine pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get tape down here on my ends. Okay. And we're going to wrap our ends. So I'm going to go ahead and get the backing off. Open this up. Get some tape glue in there. Push up against the chipboard, over, and burnish it down. And again, along the edge of the chipboard, press it up, over, burnish it down. Do that on both of these pieces. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the covers, only this time we're going to wrap all 4 sides. So again, I just go around with my tape. Like so. Backing. Oh, for crying out loud. This is not my day to be doing this, I don't think. Under too many time crunches right now. Come along here. Do the same thing, glue along the edge of the chipboard, push up against the chipboard, fold it over and down. You don't need a ton. Okay. And then just repeat that same process with both your 10 by 10 pieces. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and prep this one too. That is the end of that roll. Let me grab another one over here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead Do the exact same thing. All right. So again, along the edge of the chipboard, burnish up, over and down. Okay. Over and down. Okay. Again. Okay. Last two. Okay. All right, so let's grab our two spine pieces. I'm going to burnish along the edge of the chipboard to get that really defined so you can see the difference. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my score tape again. And I'm going to put a line of score tape along this outside edge on both of my spine pieces. Okay, so let's take our bigger piece, so the 1 1/8 inch piece, and our little 3-inch piece. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to run a line of glue right there. Backing off of this. I'm going to start with my cardstock on top of my spine. Bring it over till I reach that edge. Drop it down. I'm going to turn. Backing off of this one. And do the same thing again. Okay. So again, drop it down. We're going to do this one by itself, and then we'll attach the two together. So again, you don't want your glue to go all the way up to the edge of your chipboard. You want it just slightly away. Okay. Just going to turn it so I can come at it this way because I seem to do better coming at it from the right. Okay. All right, so we're going to come across. All right, and same thing again. Bring it over and down. Burnish it into place. I'm going to very carefully turn it over and burnish down on this side. Okay, now reinforcement. You need two pieces that are 9 7/8 by 5. This one has tape sticking off the side, which it shouldn't. You're going to cover the entire back with tape. It will lay much flatter. If you want to glue it, that is up to you, but you will get a much better, cleaner result doing tape only on this part. You don't want anything hanging over the edge, so I just look, and if it is, because of course I got a little carried away there, I just roll it back over on itself. And we are going to center one here and the other one over here. Okay, so I'm going to fold up and burnish, fold up and burnish, turn it over and pinch. Because as you can see there, my glue is not totally dry in there. There we go. Okay, do the same thing on this side now. Fold up and burnish, up and burnish, come over and pinch. This one did not quite go where I wanted it to go. There we go. All right, so we need to get our magnets on here. So I am going to grab my magnets. You'll have 2 sets in your kit. If you order the kit, you'll have 2 sets for this. Well, maybe if I can get them apart. Okay, so with the little tiny magnets like this, you don't want to try and pull them apart. You slide them. Okay. So just slide them apart. Be careful, they can break. You don't want to do that. Okay, pick it up with tape. I'm going to center it. Not center it. We're not centering these. We are just kind of putting them towards that outside edge. And then putting the next one on top. And again on the other side. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to kind of put my hand in here to keep this more flat and like closer to where it's actually going to be when it has all of its elements in there. Close this over. Kind of pinch that down to get that tape to stick. And then there you go. You've got your cover is ready to go. Okay, so we are going to start on the left side of our folio. And first up is going to be our main flap and its elements. So our first flap is going to be 9 7/8 by 10.5 with the 10.5 at the top of the scoreboard. You are going to score this one at, where's my note, 1/2 and 5/8. Okay. On top of that, we have some stacked pockets. Our first piece is going to be 6.5 by 10 7/8. You're going to start on the 10 7/8 side again. score at half an inch, whoops, half an inch, half an inch, and half an inch. And our last piece for that is 4.5 by 10 7/8, and we're going to do the same thing with this. So half an inch on 2 short sides and 1 long side. Okay. So I'm actually going to pause really quickly, and we're going to miter this. So you're going to miter from your outside score line. Oh, and see, then it fixed itself. I don't know. All right, so on your pockets, you are going to miter across the bottom and then at the top. Okay. So, big one goes down first. I think it's just I'm not used to having the white mat on here, and it's kind of washing it out in one corner, but that's okay. Either that or my view on this camera is just that much better. Because, you know, that's kind of how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to dry fit this really quickly to make sure it's not hanging over too far. I'm going to put this one down on the bottom and get the lid off the glue. Ready to go. Okay. Okay. Burnish that down. Then turn it. Burnish that down as well. Okay, and then your other pocket is going to go on top of this one. Now, I realized to kind of cut down on bulk a little bit, I could have done this differently. And I have been doing them differently for a while, and quite honestly, I am never happy with how it comes out for me. So I've kind of gone back to this method because it works. And depending on the project, something like this, it's not going to matter if it's a little bit bulkier than, you know, normal, because it's a folio. It's not like it's going to cause a page to not turn right or something like that. Okay. Down. Get that nice and burnished down. Okay, that piece is done. I'm going to save that one till the end. Our next one are going to be our top and bottom flaps. These are 9 3/4 by 5 7/8. You need 2 of them. So the 9 3/4 at the top, you are going to score these at half an inch. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and miter those. So there's your flaps. Now you need 2 pockets that are 6 by 6 and 3/8. I'm going to trim these back down. You are going to start on your 6 3/8 inch side. You're going to score it half an inch, turn it, half an inch, turn, and 1/2 inch again on both of those. So we've got our pockets. Let's go ahead and miter. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, because there we go. I think that's better. Okay, so we're going to fold and burnish. On both of these. All right, so one is going to go here. One is going to go opposite on the other side. Okay. So I'm going to start with this outside corner. Line this up at the edge. Okay. And same thing on the other one. Oops. Okay. All right, so those two are ready to go. Next up, we have our back pocket. This one is going to be 10 7/8 by 6.5. So we are going to start on the 10 7/8 side. Score it 1/2 inch. Turn it. 1/2 inch. Turn it. 1/2 inch again. I'm going to go ahead and miter this so it's ready to go. Okay. And then on top of that is going to be a waterfall. So our waterfall pieces are 4.5 by 6. We're going to score them at 1/2 inch with the 4.5 inch at the top. Okay. And, try to score it where you actually mean to score it, not next to where you mean to score it. It's kind of key to making these work, Okay. Of course, waterfalls we do not miter. So let's go ahead and grab our base. Oh, wait, we've got one more element that we didn't do yet that I was saving for the end. Okay, so this is going to have a frame on the top. So the flap itself is going to be 8 by 6 3/4. With the 6 3/4 at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 and at 3/4. We're going to go ahead and miter. I don't think I cut my acetate for our frame. The frame that's going on top of this, I think we're going to make it side loading. So this is 7 by 8.5. We are going to start No, it's going to be top loading. I apologize. Top loading. So we're going to start with 7 inches at the top, score at half an inch, turn it, half an inch again, turn, and half an inch. Now, we are going to find our little T-square here. And I don't know how wide this is, but whatever the width is on this, that is the width we are going to with our frame. So it is 1 inch. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to turn it to the back side so that I don't have to worry about getting my pencil marks erased. I'm going to line up the outside edge of my ruler with the score line, and I'm just going to draw a line. Okay. I'm going to turn it. Since this is the top, we'll go right to the top. Draw our line. Turn it again. Next to our score line. Draw a line. Turn it again, and since this is the one where the score line is on the bottom, you're going to go next to the score line as well here. Okay. And this thing literally was like $3 at Walmart, so go get one. All right. I'm going to go ahead and miter my pocket just so it's ready to go. Okay. And I'm going to grab my Fiskars trimmer. You, of course, can do this with a craft knife and a ruler. I like my Fiskars for this specifically because I can use my little wire, line everything up. And we'll go ahead and get that cut out. Usually when you get to that last one, you can kind of feel where it stops. Okay. So I'm not going to put this in yet because we're going to do a little trick to save on paper with the matting on this. So let me grab my pattern paper and figure out what exactly we're going to put on this one because I don't know. Let's do this one. Okay, so your finished outside edge of your frame is going to be 6 by 8. So I'm going to use this brown that's got the plaid on the back. I'm going to get my branding strip off. And we're going to cut this to 5 7/8. By 7 7/8. My scraps back over there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this underneath, and I'm going to center it up between my score lines. And then I have some Scotch low-tack tape that apparently is not fed in on the dispenser like it's supposed to be. I'm going to line this up, kind of tape it in place, because what we're going to do, we're not going to worry about matting on the inside of this, the little bit that we normally would go. You could if you want, but we're making sure it's like nice and in there where it's not going to move, so we can very easily trace. And I can pop that back off, and now I have my lines. Bring my trimmer back in and do the same thing to cut out my frame. Now, if you did want to make sure you have that little bit of a border, all you have to do is slide this over a tiny bit. Okay. I don't care if I have the border. I'm going to do it exactly where it is. Okay. Take the tape off there. That'd help, huh? Doesn't need to be there for this. Okay. I'm just very carefully lining that up as we go around. Okay. All right. So this one, if I had actually cut through this little bottom corner here, is ready to go down once we put this in the book. So I'm going to set that aside for right now because we're going to grab our book now. Okay. Of course, with this being a folio, you could swap what side everything goes on. It's entirely up to you. First thing that's going to go down is our large flap. I'm going to fold and burnish and then roll it back onto that little 1/8 gusset. And burnish it again. Okay. So this one is going to go here, but we want to add ribbon first. I was going to do this one entirely with magnets, and then I realized I have this ribbon that I ordered with this green and blue, like matches the collection really, really well. So that's what we're going to go with. And that, if you order the kit, will be included in your kit. So I need good scissors when I go to trim my ribbon here in just a second. But we are going to start on this side. And I'm going to go about in the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to take actually my base that my frame is going to go on. And we can go ahead and glue our frame on top of that. So wherever I have now misplaced the actual frame itself. Hey, seriously, you guys, where'd it go? Crying out loud. Oh, it's right here. It's just going to be one of those days again, I can tell. The anxiety is fully in charge today. Okay, so this is going to go on top of this. Okay, about like so. But we need to first line it up where it's going to go. I'm going to say about right there. That looks mostly centered. Yeah, about right there is good. I'm just going to make a little mark, top and bottom. So when I go to put this on here, I actually know where it is I'm putting it back. Because I'm going to take off of the other end of my ribbon here a little bit so that we can tie this. Get the sharp scissors. And we're going to go ahead and attach this on the outside edge of this flap so it goes underneath the frame. And then go ahead and make sure that's not hanging off the desk, because that's all I need is the cat coming in here and grabbing at it. We're going to go ahead and attach our frame. Okay. And close that back up. Burnish it down. All right. So then, after we put acetate, of course, on there, our frame is going to go on like so. Actually, probably like that, because it looks like that was upside down and just slightly off. Okay, so like that. And then you can decide if you want this piece that we cut out of the middle is going to mat inside the frame. So you can decide if you want which side you want up. And I really think I like that plaid up. So I am going to go ahead and get my adhesive on the back here. Okay. And it's going to fit exactly inside the frame here. Okay. You can see just a very faint pencil line up here, which once this is like all assembled and whatnot, and the acetate's on there, and the frame's on there, you're not going to notice. Okay, so your acetate for this will be, I have to get a sheet out because there's not a piece right there easy to grab. So your acetate is going to be 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm going to cut that on the big trimmer because I think it cuts better on the acetate. Okay. So I am going to, you can glue it, but it does take a couple of minutes to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and just use tape. So I'm going to run tape around the outside edge here. And then I'll go ahead and put it down on top. There you go, like so. Okay. And you'll just center this on here, like so. Burnish it down. And this is ready to go in the book. So the reason that we marked exactly where it goes is because we used that to determine where our ribbon was going to go, which you could just put the ribbon on here and then do that side after. That actually probably makes more sense, but like I said, it's been a long day. I have done a lot today. My brain is just like, nope. It's about ready to just remove itself from the situation. Okay, so my two little pencil marks are just going to help me get this centered back up where I want it. Okay. And then I'm not going to cut this off just yet. We're just going to work around it for a minute. We're going to go ahead and put this one down as well. And of course, you want to make sure when you do put this down that you're not going too close to your spine. So I will fold that up and double check, and that you're not going too far out the other way. I think we're good. Open that up and burnish that down. Okay. All right. Still not going to cut that off just yet. I want to go ahead and put in my top and bottom flaps, which those are incredibly straightforward. Nothing to them. They are smaller. Oh, you son of a... Okay, so apparently that wasn't totally dry yet when I laid it back down. Hey, shipping boxes just got here for kits. I thought they were supposed to be here yesterday. They were not. It's today. Because again, I'm off by like an entire day. All day yesterday, I kept thinking it was Wednesday. Then my son asked about piano lessons, and I went, oh crap, that's today. Today is not Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. So all day today, I've been thinking it's Thursday. Which would be bad if I don't get up and, log on for work tomorrow. Somebody will call me and go like, hey, where are you? It's Friday. No, it's not. It's Thursday. You don't leave yet. Yeah, one more day. Okay. All right. This one goes over here like so. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and while that all is drying and whatnot, we're going to go ahead and build our waterfall. So I am going to fold in my top tab because I'm going to turn it to face me because, as you know, I prefer to build my waterfalls upside down. I think they just go together much straighter. Also, building them on top of something helps you get them nice and straight. So that is what we do around here. Okay. That will go all the way to the top corner. Go ahead and fold all of these really quickly. Being especially careful with the one where apparently I couldn't line it up. There we go. And another. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and finish assembling our waterfall. Okay, so of course that's going to butt up right against the flap before it. And burnish it down. Push this one down. Okay, last one. So the last one, I'm not going to put it down the way I normally do. I'm actually going to fold it back out and put it on top of the tab before it, because then when you're matting underneath there, you don't have, that strip where that last tab is. Okay, so let's fold and burnish one more time. Okay, and there we go. Now go ahead and get our sides. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to cut another little piece of our ribbon that we still haven't trimmed off yet. We want it to go from the back. No, I'm sorry, not from the back, from the bottom up. Okay, so I only need about that. And I'm going to attach that down here in the middle, roughly. As close to middle as we can get right here. Okay, now let's go ahead and glue that in down. Turn this way so that I can get to this outside edge and to the bottom. Okay. And then we'll get our sides. And again, burnish everything down. Nice and flat. Okay. So our other piece of ribbon will attach onto the bottom of this flap so that you're not having to use quite as much as you might otherwise. This is still, I don't know what it is in this climate with the good cardstock, just wants to suck up the glue and not actually adhere. It just wants to eat the glue. Okay. All right, so these, so that's doing it there too. Okay, there we go. All fixed. Okay. That out of the way. That folds in, other than this one goes on top. But the reason I don't want to cut this off yet, because I wanted to see how thick this was going to be and how much of this I really needed to trim. So I'm going to go about right there. Then that will tie off there. I'm going to open this back up and then figure out how much I need for my other little section here. Okay. And go ahead and adhere that one down too. Okay. Just going to line it up with the ribbon. All right, see, there we go. All closed up and pretty. And then I'm telling you, I cannot tie a bow to save my life. It's a problem. Okay. All right, so let's get our other side ready to go. And, lid on the glue so it doesn't, clog up while we're sitting here. Okay. So let's grab the scoreboard again. Okay. Our right flap is 9 7/8 by 6. So with the 6-inch at the top of the scoreboard, I don't know if I wrote down my, I did, good. Okay, we're going to score this at 1/2 inch and at 1 inch, which honestly probably doesn't need to be that much. We could probably go 1/4. I think I was initially going to do this with like an accordion pocket in the bottom there, which I might still do, but I'm not sure. If I do, I'm going to have to stop and like recut that and do math again on a Wednesday night when I'm tired. Okay, so that just is what it is. Our next one is going to be 9 7/8 by 8.5 with the 8.5 at the top of the scoreboard. You're going to score at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. Let's go ahead and miter that. Okay. This has a pocket that goes on the top. The pocket is 4.5 by 10 7/8. So with the 10 7/8 at the top, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Turn it. 1/2 inch again. Turn and 1/2 inch. And we're going to be building another little waterfall here. Only this time it's going to be a 4x4. So I need 6 pieces that are 4.5 by 4. With the 4.5 at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our pocket piece and miter. And so yeah, it's going to go on that side. So I was just trying to remember which way I wanted this to go so that I can burnish that down, burnish our flaps, and go ahead and attach them just like we did our 4x6. Because the Simple Vintage collections, I think, just have some of the prettiest cut aparts, and it's really hard to like cover them up and like try to use the back sides, because half the time the back side's like some fabulous print that you don't want to not use, but okay. So again, I'm going to build this upside down, just like always. Okay. And our next one. And so on and so forth. As we move on down the waterfall. And I just totally did not do that the way I meant to do it. I meant to, oh, crying out loud. Thankfully, this will get matted over, and the ugliness I just created there by wiping that off because I got in my rhythm and wasn't paying attention. So we really want that to go the other direction on that last flap. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're good all the way down. Okay, fold up our pocket. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, did I just do this facing the wrong way? Not that we couldn't change it, but okay, so the bigger flap, this is going to go onto this outside edge. We are going to go ahead and add some ribbon to that. So I'm going to go down here. Just kind of sit this here so I can kind of eyeball about where halfway is. We'll do the same thing with the other half of your ribbon is going to be on your bottom flap. Okay. Okay. Fold that over. Push it down. Okay. So that one is ready. I'm going to go about right there. I may have underestimated how much ribbon we're going to need for this one, but that's okay. Because I can adjust it because I have not put the actual kit together just yet. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and tie this one shut. All right. So that one is ready to go in the book. I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines, preferably flat on the desk, not on top of the book, on top of the scoreboard. Should have done that first, but I didn't. Okay. And this is going to go, so it will open towards the left. Okay. So that will open up like so. This one will go to the other side. Okay. Move that out of the way. Next up, we have a pocket with accordion flaps on the top. So our pocket is, again, 10 7/8 by 8 1/2. Starting at the 10 7/8 side, you're going to score it 1/2 inch. Turn it, 1/2 inch, turn, and 1/2 inch again. Go ahead and miter. Okay. Move this for a minute because we can go ahead and put this in. Because the elements that go with it we can do. Okay. So this is going to go to this outside edge. And like always, one side down to make sure your placement's right. Burnish it down. And then we'll do the other side, or this, the top and bottom in this case. Okay. And burnish it from in there as well. Okay. Why does that seem way too big? Because I think it is. No, it's not. I take it back. It's not. It's fine. I think it's because I was going to do it as an accordion pocket and decided that was really kind of unnecessary. We've got lots of really good sized pockets in here, but you'll still be able to slip, you know, like bigger photos or whatever in there. Okay. See, I design it, I draw it out, I measure it out, and then I second guess myself. Okay, so we have 2 accordion flaps. These are 8.5 by 9 7/8 with the 8.5 at the top. You are going to score at 1/2 inch. Try to stay on 1/2 inch, and then 4.5. You're going to do the same thing on both. So 1/2 inch and 4.5. Go ahead and miter. We're going to go ahead and fold and burnish, so it's going to glue down, and then the other flap is going to fold back towards your tab. Okay, so fold over your tab, burnish it down, flip it over, and fold towards the tab. Okay, all right. So let's drag this back over, and these go facing each other. Turn it the right way so that it opens up and out. Okay. So, oh shoot, no, we need ribbon. I'm gonna have to cut a little bit more. I think I kind of underestimated how much I was gonna need here. So go ahead and just put that down, and I'll cut another little piece here in a minute. Of course, I had a couple that I probably cut longer than I needed to. But if you are like me and you are bow challenged, it is better to cut it really long than not cut it long enough and not be able to tie the silly thing. So, well, let me see, because then if this comes over, Oh, no, maybe it is okay. I think we are okay. Maybe we're good at 3 yards. So right now, that's what I started with, so that I, had my starting point when I hit this up. And I think that will be okay. So this one, so I'll pull it across and kind of see about where it is centered. Okay. Drop that guy down, and then we'll go ahead and glue down our other flap. Okay. And there we go. You are all assembled. Now it is the matting and the decorating. Of course, I will have, if you buy the tutorial, I'm sorry, not the tutorial, the kit, other than apparently I glued this one down crooked. Okay, we're going to leave it. It's fine. If you buy the kit, you of course get your printed cutting guide along with the matting measurements, and you will get a link to a gallery that has detailed pictures of all of the matting. But at this point, oh, no, we're not. We need magnets. We need one more set of magnets. Oh my gosh. I knew I was missing something. Okay, so we are going to do a magnetic closure on this one. So I'm going to figure out about where I want that to go. And right there looks good. Drop that guy down on top. Tape him down. And there we go. We are all set. You have a nice large folio. This paper collection is perfect for Mother's Day. Or if, you are not the one that does the crafting, your mom is, it would still be a good one to give as a gift for her to be able to make when she gets to go and craft and, hang out with her friends, or she has her, me time, that kind of thing. As much as I hate that phrase. Yeah, so there we go. As always, thank you for watching. If you end up buying this kit, thank you. Huge thank you, since I am expanding things out and getting this off the ground, and every one of you that purchases a kit helps me to do so. And to be able to still keep the tutorials themselves free. So if you end up making this with the kit or without, I would love to see it. Please share it in my group, Scrap Happy Peeps, or you can tag me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Scrapping Under the Influence. I will see you guys again soon. Bye.